Happy Sunday, everyone. Bon dimanche. And I'm hoping everyone is having a wonderful evening. And I thank you for tuning in. If it is your first time tuned in here, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel. Today, I'll be giving you guys an update on a frequently asked question: our flights coming back into Haiti. And I'll also be giving you guys a quick update on our recent viral story. So, if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe, guys. How's it going? Please excuse me. You guys have not been seeing me as much because I prayed for something and I got the answer. But now I have very, very limited time. Now, y'all know on YouTube, I can't neglect you guys. Just let me get some things off of my schedule so that I can keep you guys posted. So let's begin with good news. We hear American Airlines will start back flying into Haiti starting November 1st. And for my peoples who are wondering if they would be coming into Port-au-Prince, no. That news is for Cap-Haïtien. They will simply for now be going into Cap-Haïtien. I think we will find out what will happen with Port-au-Prince Airport September of this year. Hopefully before then they'll let us know if flights will start back happening in Port-au-Prince. And for those who are wanting to visit, who's never visited Cap-Haïtien, it's very safe. Do not be afraid to visit Cap-Haïtien. And it is also a very beautiful part of Haiti. You can fly into Cap-Haïtien, and being in Cap-Haïtien will give you access to the rest of the country. Would it be a little bit more expensive? Yes, it definitely will be. However, for now, that is one of the only ways to get into Port-au-Prince. I personally do not recommend you get here through the roads from Cap-Haïtien or from the Dominican Republican border. I don't advise that, okay? So that is good news. We celebrate the small steps, right? And we'll wait on the bigger ones. So don't forget, guys, have you hit the like button yet? I hope you've shared the live, guys. Please share this live. Please share the live. I know that this story made headline news and have so many people curious. And it's by right that I share. And I will tell you guys this, the only reason for me sharing this update is because I cannot believe myself exactly the news that I have gotten. But in life, you live and you learn. Peterson Brayburn, how's it going? Raphael Lagundi. Don't forget, guys, let me know where you tuned in from. M vle salye tout moun mwen yo ki ap entre nan live la avem. Pa bliye pou nou pataje, pou nou abone, et pou nou suiv chanel la, pou lem ap lage plus informasyon nou kapab paret. Et nou ka jwen notification too. So you guys know all of the updates from our last viral story, which is the children with the mother and the father. And with that story, there came so much backlash towards life in Haiti. There was the threat in the background. There was the calls from family or so-called claim to be family. Some I shared publicly, and some I've yet to share publicly with the world because of the charge that was filed against Boss Mike and I. And to give you guys an update tonight, that charge is non existent. And we'll see how that goes, okay? Because you guys know how Haiti is. But the good thing I knew and Mike knew that we had not done anything illegal. So we know that Boss Mike and I had done everything in our power to bring attention to the situation right here within the community. We did everything in our power to bring attention to even you guys abroad to what was happening, right? And in the same token, many of you guys, the world got to see what type of response or backlash that we received. And I am doing this update because of the many people who jumped on this story. And I remember I was invited one night blindsidedly to a young man on YouTube Live. And here I go thinking this is a friendly environment. It is not an environment where I'm going to be attacked because I had done nothing wrong. So I had no reason to feel like I needed to watch my back, right? When I got on that live, quickly I realized that I was being attacked by this creator. And that genuinely hurted me. And I didn't understand what was happening at the time. But I am sharing this live to share that people have to be very, very careful what they share their opinions on. Because if you are not going to stand on that energy, it's best that you keep quiet. An example, I went in and took out the time to go and visit that family because our objective was to work and bring a change, to bring awareness. And I do believe, regardless of all the misconceptions with the family, today we would have been working to assist them because it was clear, and it is clear, that the situation the children are in, they cannot live in that situation. It is not a situation that's recommended for any adult, let alone innocent children that is growing up and being exposed to that type of situation on a daily. Officials got involved and they blamed us. I saw many of the comments from people all over YouTube, and some of the people genuinely blamed me for the situation. And guys, if you are just tuning in, I do encourage you to tune in and watch some of that upload, some of the reactions, even some of other creators who had more footages too that I didn't get to have, that shared them about that story. That way you get a better idea of what I am talking about if you don't know. So all of this stress I was carrying, my team was carrying, and it was a lot of the people were wanting to make me feel that I had done something wrong. I stayed cool. I bagged out because I knew that I went in with good intentions, and that has always been my intention since the beginning of life in Haiti, is to help And on my channel, we bring to you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of Haiti, right? And I ask that you guys share, because I would like for this live to fall at the footstep as some of the people that had an opinion or that blamed me for the situation. And I want us to stay focused solely on the kids and not anything else, not even about me, not even about the parents who are okay in their situation, okay? But the families, the friends, the people who called and clearly screamed my ear out because I was such a bad individual for exposing what was happening when I was called there. So, about 2 days ago, a friend of mine shared with me, guys, that the kids, even with all of the promises that was made by family, all the fronts, because the video had so much heat, people were choosing their sides. They were choosing to protect either their family member. They were choosing to protect their interests. But one thing I realized coming out of that situation is that absolutely none of them was protecting the interests of those innocent kids. So to give you guys an update, I got an update stating that those children are out and running around in the streets doing the same thing, if not more, okay, without any supervision, and still facing the difficulties that they're facing. You know, I said I'm going to share this because people jump on uploads to do reactions, and most of those type of people, you know, they doing that so that either they can get the views, the recognition, the this, the that, but never realizing the depths behind some of these stories coming out of Haiti, coming out of channels similar to mine, the impact that it has. You know, one of the best things coming out of that story was I had a writer who reached out to me from, hold on a second. The writer is from Novavax.info, and they are in French and Creole, I think. We can translate, right? And they wrote an article about that story. And their article will stick with me forever because that story exposed a system in Haiti. See, people were more okay with blaming me for bringing it to light. It was so much easier to point the finger at me and say, it is her that's the problem. It's her that's the culprit. It is her life in Haiti. She's the problem. Instead of really dealing and accepting the root of the problem here. And this is not simply them. I reference it to them because that is a story that thousands of people have watched. Even officials have sat down and watched that video. But there are so many children in Haiti that we take their story lightly, that these kids are on a daily suffering in their everyday reality. And they don't have anybody, because you have a few of me, but there's not enough of Marie within each community to bring awareness to these type of cases. And not only that, I see why a lot of creators walk away from this type of stories. They walk away from these type of conditions because of the backlash that comes with it. And I spent the last 2 days with this in the back of my head, saying to myself, well, where's all of the people that claim that I was the one interrupting these kids' daily life? Where's the families, including those that claim they lived in the States, Canada, and all over the world, and that the children had so much support? Guys, when I come and I share and upload with you guys about someone suffering, I ask that you guys take that serious. I ask that if I accidentally stumble upon maybe one of your family members' door or friends' doors, to take that serious. Because what we fail to understand is Haiti is already a hard place, especially where Haiti is today. And in order for us to change that narrative, to change the face of Haiti, we must invest in the children of Haiti today. If you don't care, it's best you just remove yourself, period. But for the few of us, the thousands who genuinely care, take these cases seriously. Let's stop taking them lightly. Let's stop defending as well, because it is a family member that you see, myself or maybe another creator, in front of their door. Because we went in to assist, and I can guarantee you, I would have worked tirelessly on screen with my team to make sure we made a difference in them children's lives. We didn't go there for views. We didn't go there for buzz. Matter of fact, in my line of work, I always assume when I am asking for help that I would not have many people that stand behind helping. The last thing I imagined was that video would get thousands of views. And you know, it is the only upload that I've ever brought to life in Haiti. And it is one of the most sensitive uploads that I've done. That we've opened that case and we've never closed it. And it had a lot to do with people's opinion. People, I know that social media grants us the ability to have an opinion about everything. But some things we see on social media is not funny. Some things that gets to social media is pretty serious. They are cases that needs serious individuals to put their hands together and figure out how to assist in that situation. So for all of those people who had such a strong opinion, especially those whose opinion was I had done something, I had invaded privacy. Where y'all at now? Right? It's okay that the kids, they're in their situation, right? Because that's the only focus. The focus is not the fact that these kids are now all over the streets. And even with the kids too, guys, let me give you guys some shout outs. Don't Thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope that you've hit the like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. Egyptian goddess, greetings. La Force says love and light to you, Marie. Thank you so much. Sea Turtle, bonsoir, Madame Marie, bonsoir. The Gangster Bankster, let's get the likes up, guys. They are always free of charge. Thank you so much. The Gangster Bankster. Claire, hello, good evening. Good evening, Claire. How are you? And thank you for tuning in. Patricia says, Marie, you did no wrong. May God continue to bless you and everyone around the world, all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the USA. Thank you so much, Miss Patricia, for tuning in. Genio says, I care about the children of Haiti, and they deserve to be happy. Thank you. It wasn't a thing about just simply them being an American. I think a lot of people blamed me for that, not stopping to understand that every day we have a center, and at the center, we help 100% Haitian kids. If you look at all of the rest of the uploads, kids we've assist, build homes for, they have all been Haitian kids. Being the information that I was shared, I felt that if these kids could gain U.S. citizenship, then we can make a broader difference in their lives. It had nothing to do simply with me wanting to help them because they were American kids. If people would have stopped and more judged a content creator, and when I say that, judge me more by my past actions, if it was your first time tuned into the channel, instead of maybe what the comments or the he say, she say was saying, you would have seen that since day one, this channel is not a channel that is somewhat discriminating against its own people, because I know well that my people are in need of that assistance. They're in need of it. But regardless if they were American, Haitian, whatever their ethnicity was, they still did not deserve to live in that condition. Children deserve to live a basic life where at least these kids have access to basic necessities. Michelle says, Miss Marie, I was following the story. Was the mother telling the truth about she is from the US? Guys, there are things personally that I could not stand in front of the screen and say she is or she isn't lying. I don't know, because there was never proof shown to me, and I did ask for proof. I did have proof that the husband, he is Haitian, but I was told that she was American. And when I asked for her passport, I was told that her passport had been lost since the earthquake. And that's a pretty long time to be unidentified in any country, because there's so much that you probably needed to do. She has had children since that time. Okay. And today, I share this to say one of Haiti's biggest problems is our justice system. We are too lax within our justice system. I hear how so many people agreed that there was not enough evidence to look further into that situation and say, hey, let's put the kids in better hands while we investigate. And it was a lot of people in Haiti. Maybe because so many people in Haiti have been exposed to the hardest way of living that we've grown to accept a level of cruelty. But there's no way, guys, a system that is working for its people should have left the kids to continue to suffer in the condition that we found them in. And for the family members, I know that they continue to follow me. For you guys who lied to me, who, I don't know if you misrepresented yourself because you're a family member. You presented yourself as a family member. You called and you called me all sorts of names. You cussed me. Where y'all at now? It had always been about the kids with me. Where y'all guys at now? Let's not forget that these kids will grow up and one day they will get to tell their story. And that is why that video will forever remain on Life in Haiti channel. Maybe years later, they can go back and they can watch these uploads about their situation. I do feel that that upload was them kids' deliverance. But I also don't blame them because I know that they are kids. And kids can only do so much for themselves when, all they know is what they have been exposed to. Because I recall clearly when I first interviewed the kids, this wasn't anything pre-planned. This wasn't anything where anyone had spoke to them, not to my understanding. And if anyone had spoke to them, I don't think anybody knew exactly what I was going to ask. They didn't know. People just knew I was coming there. And I remember clearly that the kids shared that they wanted to come out of that situation. So if you are a family member and you have family members back home here in Haiti, I don't suggest that you just send money back home, especially when you have family members who are exposed to situations like this. Okay? You may want to have you somebody to make sure that your money goes towards exactly what it is supposed to go towards. to give them kids a chance. And you know what I hear today, guys? Not only is the kids are out in the streets, but also that beautiful little girl we remember seeing the little sister carry. They're all out in the streets too. It may be a joke for many, but for me, it's a huge disappointment because I don't do this work because that this is something that I love wholeheartedly. And if there's not a day that goes by in everything that I do in my life that it doesn't have something to do with the betterment of my community. So to my haters, be sure you know what you're hating about. Be sure that when you pass in your opinions, that you know exactly what you're talking about. Because people more focused on the fact that people felt that the guy made a big deal saying that we said he kidnapped the lady, and I think that story in itself, it took over what the reality of it all is. Thank you so much, Sherry Hill. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. Thank you. People took that and ran with it. I think we focused more on that umbrella and forgot totally everything that's under the umbrella. And that's the kids. So I know that you guys ask me for updates all of the time about the kids and how are they doing. And I wanted to share that update with you guys because it's not good. And even people in the community, I hear, and I want to share to people in the community, please do not be mean to them. I never took personal anything that the kids did or said. I was more upset at the fact that I was in a place that you can talk to me the way that you talking to me with the actions you've posed. Because I truly believe you could do whatever you want on earth, but you will pay the consequences for it. That's including myself. You guys know my story. You make that mistake, it does not relieve you of the punishment because you're sorry or whatever. But I never took anything that the kids did personal because I knew that the kids were trained. The kids were told to do that. And at the end, the way that the father acted, I'm not sure if you guys were on YouTube, on TikTok with me. I think my staff said we had over 10,000 people on that TikTok live. And he pulled out a ton of money to say that he had money. He had this, he had that, and all of that could have been a part of the plan, guys. Because I still feel there's so much more with that, okay? And maybe they played into that plan right along, but that money did not bring a sustainable result. And I shared that with them. Some people heard me say, well, I'm not bringing you like rice, beans. No, it was not saying that they didn't need that assistance, but I shared that to say they needed assistance that was more sustainable. And I remember the day we went up there, I wanted to have a sit down with them to figure where to start. Not judging anybody, not even judging the father, but seeing, including him, because there's obviously some mental health issues there, seeing exactly where to start to get to where we're going. And you guys know what hurts is people focus on the fact that she's not American, she's not this. With all of the lies that was shared on that video, it would have not stopped me from assisting them. I would have worked to find out the truth behind some of the stories that wasn't lining up. But I would not have just completely turned my back on her because she wasn't American, because it's obvious that she wasn't leading herself. I would not have turned my back on the kids because the kids could not claim US citizenship. Like there was a lot that was said, that was done. It would not have detoured us from helping, or me fighting from helping to make a difference in their lives. And that's what I wanted to do for the kids. I know that the kids were saying that they wanted to live in a better place. I even envisioned us, actually doing something for them on their property, because I did recall him saying that, either he rented to own that small piece of property and that, he legally had rights to be there. You know, I would have done all I could to make sure that the kids, you know, had some permanent results. Janny Cox says, I remember this story I watched, and that father seemed suspicious, and that mother also. I don't know what's going on there, but to respect what officials have said, yes, maybe that's their personality, right? But regardless of your personality, it doesn't make it okay to expose children to what they have exposed the kids to. And I mean, can you imagine, even that beautiful little girl is out and about in the streets too? And what I don't understand is, if you are not able to, you know, help yourself, and you have children, what is the problem with allowing someone to help them? Hi, Queen, and everyone on the live. Hello, Miss Cindy B. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I believe you are there to help where help is needed. Definitely, guys. That's what we do. Mabel, hello. How's it going? How are you? I think this woman's passport will show exactly how old she was when she entered Haiti. I think this woman was underage when she came to Haiti and started having kids. With all of the controversy, the authorities here in Haiti never, they felt like they didn't need to show that to us. They didn't need to clarify that. I still believe he brought her there under false pretense. Maybe, I don't know. Mercedes, how are you? Whether or not she is American, I still wanted to help them. I believe the father got upset after seeing so many awful comments about himself. Yeah, I do believe that he allowed emotions to get over him. But in the same token, as adults, we have to be strong enough to accept responsibility for the opinion of others for our actions, right? And I do think, and this is just my opinion, but when you're dealing with people that may not be there completely mentally, then that could be some of the results. I think that was a time for him to just take a look at himself and see if maybe he had been doing something to make him look like what people were saying. And if so, to change that behavior. Okay? If so, to change that behavior. Patricia says, God knows your heart, Marie. Keep doing what you are doing. Thank you. Is there any contact info for them? I want to buy each child a pair of shoes. I don't need to know anything about the parent's story. Because of I'm doing an update, guys, but I don't want to be involved in anything with that situation. But I'm sharing an update based on facts and updates that I've been shared. I don't think that for me to assist them, they would need to give me a public apology. It would have to be a public apology. And they would have to sign paperwork. So, because, when people are hot and cold like that, they come in and out. You got to be really, really careful with them, guys, especially in a place like Haiti. And if you know how things are in Haiti, then you know what I'm talking about. That is the absolute only way is to get a public apology, because whatever they had going on or whatever their conspiracy may have been, I became a victim in it as well, because I went in 100% with good intentions, and you know I had a lot of sleepless nights behind that story. So for me, I don't have any contact info for them, and I never had. So don't think that I'm just saying that because I never had their contact info. I knew whether they lived after being taken there that first time, right? But we weren't in contact by the phone. I didn't even get enough time to get to know them like that. Marie Nook, how's it going? Hello, Marie. I'm so sorry to hear that those beautiful kids are back in the streets so fast. And they had so many family members, they had so many people. Marie is the wrong person accusing Marie. But where are you guys at today? Are these kids not important? And that is something we have very bad within our community. I don't talk about this often. It is not something that I dealt with directly, but I've seen it in many Haitian households. Either a son that's a problem within the household, but because the mother loves him, she does everything and beyond to protect him, or an uncle, the grandmother does everything and beyond to protect him, and never seeing and understanding the pain that the behavior of that child have caused. And I feel that that's the only way I can view the family, or the people who so-called claimed they were family, who contacted me and who said some even wished death upon me, for bringing awareness to a situation that I was called to. And then they also promised in the same token that they would take over and they would make sure that the kids are doing better. just to hear that these kids are out and about, you know, still facing the same struggle. He was called a murderer, a kidnapper. People said he did black magic, witchcraft, and voodoo. People said he made the wife a zombie. People who are familiar with the system here in Haiti, you know, Mercedes, that's probably why people share that, you know. That is probably why people shared that, you know. A lot of the people that follow the channel, you know, they probably, you know, and I've rewatched that upload and I don't want to pass no judgment. But if you go back and rewatch the upload and read the body language, I can see why people would resort to. I don't know about a murderer, you know, but I can see why people would resort to feeling like, you know, hey, did he kidnap her? Did he do this? Did he zombify her? Did he do that? Okay. But personally, I don't have their contact information. And my heart goes out to the kids. Continue to pray for the kids, guys, because the kids should have always been the main priority behind that case. And hopefully, years later, the kids can come out and they can share their own story. I don't know how far you are from the family, but I hope the kids remember when they get older, you try to do the right thing. Thank you, Fomix Tear. Yes, I do hope that they could remember, and I hope that they could share their own story with the world. I was hoping that by now the other brother, um, I was hoping that the other brother would also, you know, get in touch with me and, you know, share his story because, you know, all the rest of his family, they got up and they shared. But at the end of the day, guys, let's be mindful to some of these uploads that, you know, we pass judgments on. And when I bring certain stories to you know, to the screen, the objective, guys, is to find results. Even though once you release an upload, you just never know where it's gonna go. You cannot, I can't go into thousands of you guys' home and have you share your, you know, you guys share your thoughts. That is one of the good about social media, which can also be bad because, as Mercedes shared, people can share things that's hurtful. Maybe that's not true. I mean, hell, they did it to me. Okay. But in the end, guys, let's be mindful that these stories are real stories. The children, they are real children, and the suffering, it is real. Let's focus more on finding results more than creating, you know, more and more drama. How Miss Marie have or anyone else found out where this lady is from? Um, the officials in Haiti says that she's from DR. I'm guessing they were able to verify that she's from DR. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything else about that. So, guys, I've released a recent post about sponsorship. So, for you guys who are tuned in, we are looking for new sponsors to come and join Life in Haiti, especially for the new kids we have that's coming on. And also, some of the kids that we have that was not sponsored from last year. Please get in touch with me, guys, at lifeinhaiti10@yahoo.com. It is $200 for the year to sponsor a child, and that $200 will provide the child with a year tuition, uniforms, and daily meals, guys. And it would also help the center um, with daily operations as well as payroll for staff. If you are not up to the commitment for sponsorship, don't forget, guys, we are the ones behind Life in Haiti Learning Center here in Haiti, guys. You can make a small donation, and no amount is too small, guys. You can donate via Zelle, via PayPal. However, if you are going to sponsor a child, do not send in funds yet. Funds are not due yet. We are still trying to match each sponsor with their child, and we won't start doing that until I believe July the 25th. It is not yet summertime here in Haiti. The last day of school here is July the 20th, I believe, July the 20th. And I'll keep on sharing more with you guys. If you look on my community post, you will see the post today, the flyer. Please share it with family and friends, at church groups, with coworkers. I know that some of you guys have, and I know that some of you all have gotten in touch with me. Today I was pretty busy. I got off from one work and straight into the live. Therefore, I have not had time to check my messages. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys that continue to support and that continue to be moved whenever we post or wherever there's a need here at the center, guys. Don't forget, I'm looking to bring in about 30 more sponsors, guys, new sponsors, in addition to the ones we have. We already have a waiting list. I'm not sure. I don't know if we have 15 people on the waiting list yet. But guys, we have thousands of people who follow the channel. Don't forget, guys, please share. Let's continue the positive work. And as I've shared with you guys, if you don't see me on screen all the time, I have some personal things I'm getting in order. I prayed for God to help me to find something, and He did. And that takes time, guys. And hopefully, once I accomplish some things, I'll get back to a somewhat regular schedule, guys. But don't forget about the kids. Don't forget about the center, the daily operations, and the work that we continue to do here in Haiti in the background, guys. It won't change. And that is why we even bring stories like, like these kids that we are talking about tonight. And as I will continue to say, it's a punch that we weren't able to bring some solutions to that story. But who knows? Maybe I was able to bring it to light, and another creator can actually meet them and actually bring about results, right? So who knows? Let's continue to be attentive. But don't forget, much love and strengthen your heart, good deeds. Thank you so much. Praying for everyone. Miss Patricia, thank you guys so much. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another, guys. Tell somebody you love them. Don't go to sleep upset tonight. I love you guys. And be the change that you want to see. And before I go, let me give a shout out to my sister and my daughter as well. Monica, thank you. Happy birthday to you, sis. Happy birthday. Jeez, I had a lot of birthdays. Happy birthday to my mother. Happy birthday to my little one. Happy birthday, Miss Cindy B. Happy birthday, Monica. And happy upcoming birthday to my oldest baby girl. Happy birthday to you guys. Gemini season is live and in effect. And I hope that God blesses each and every one of you guys with many, many more. As for my baby girl, is a wonderful thing to watch you grow into the beautiful young lady that you have become. And may you continue your education and may you continue to do great things. And mom, may God bless you with many more. Miss B, I'm hoping I still look as good as you. And Monica, stay beautiful, sis. Stay beautiful. Happy birthday, baby. Enjoy yourself. Happy belated birthday to each and every one of you guys. But I haven't been on, and I wanted to not forget. Love you all so, so much, guys. Happy birthday. Until next time.